evening, Belize. Tonight, a growing audit at the Ministry of Defense takes another turn as 15 boxes of financial records are handed over to the Auditor General, with new questions about accountability at one of government's most closely watched ministries. Plus, Cabinet Minister Oscar Requena breaks his silence on the controversy surrounding fellow colleagues as scrutiny over Defense Ministry spending intensifies. And Maya leaders return to the Caribbean Court of Justice, seeking answers about a landmark ruling more than a decade in the making, but leave without the clarity they were hoping for. Also tonight, another group of deportees arrive in Belize under the country's safe third country arrangement with the United States, renewing debate over the implications of the agreement. Then Belize agrees to partially waive diplomatic immunity in a case now drawing international attention as Canadian authorities investigate allegations involving a Belizean diplomat. From government accountability and Indigenous rights to immigration and international diplomacy, the stories shaping Belize tonight are just ahead. I'm Sabrina Daly and News 5 starts now.
The demand on your business get every day the demand on your business get higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Welcome back. 15 boxes of financial records are now in the hands of the Auditor General's office, and they could help determine whether the Ministry of Defense followed the rules or crossed important lines. The documents, retrieved from the ministry as part of an ongoing audit, span 5 years of spending and decision-making. Auditor General Maria Rodriguez told News 5 today that her team is now combing through the records, looking at several key issues, including alleged conflicts of interest, value for money, and whether procurement procedures were bypassed. But first on the list is the question of whether elected officials had improper ties to suppliers. Rodriguez says the findings will help the Briceño administration decide what comes next. Here's how she explains it.
Speaking with the team, I realized that decisions need to be made, or decision makers have to make some decisions. And so we are prioritizing any possible alleged conflict of interest, get that out of the way, and then focus on the overall purchasing and management of stores by the Ministry of Defense.
Can you explain or divulge how that process works in terms of vetting conflict of interest?
So the regulations are very clear. The Constitution also asks that all public officers do not engage in any perceived conflict of interest. So understand, it's not that it has to exist. If it's perception, then you also have to protect yourself from that perception of conflict of interest. So we are looking at it based on what the Constitution is saying. We are also receiving legal support to ensure that we do not say anything that's not legally correct.
How do you weigh your work against what some would argue is evident conflict of interest in the public domain.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I read that post about its evident conflict of interest. I would prefer to wait for what the evidence is saying. I think it's unfair to anyone to disclose and just go ahead and say it's conflict of interest. We should wait and see what the evidence says. An evidence-based report cannot be disputed at any point in time. So,
is it not a conflict of interest when minister's ministry gives or awards contracts to siblings, for example?
So again, the Constitution clearly says that if you're a public officer, you're in the public image, you should not place yourself in a condition that could perceive conflict of interest. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Auditor General Maria Rodriguez says the first report on the ongoing Ministry of Defense audit should be ready by the end of September. But as her team sifts through 5 years of financial records, another question arises. How prepared are the auditors handling this high-stakes review? Rodriguez says she has full confidence in the team assigned to the job, adding that she personally conducts the final quality control checks before any report is released.
Let me say, the lead auditor is a certified fraud examiner. She holds a CFE from the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, the Houston Charter. And all her examiners that are working with her have a bachelor's degree in accounting. So it's a well put together team. And she has a master's as well. So
how confident are you then in this team?
I am confident because all my staff are committed officers and they know what is expected of them. I'm very, very confident. Nothing passes out of the office without it passes through me. So I do the final quality control check.
So you believe that they will be able to catch all the fine details that perhaps one might argue lesser experienced auditor might not be able to capture?
You know, I hear that. Nobody comes to this office bringing all the knowledge of an auditor. Everybody comes new. Even those that are here, I don't know who you're referring to, but I'm here 26 years. I did not come being an auditor. I became an auditor here. I learned everything from this office. And so to disclaim someone because they just came to the office, I think it's quite low. Everybody needs the experience. Everybody needs to be out there. And I must say, though, that there's some misinterpretation or I'll even carry it to disinformation because it seems intentional. I do quality control of the work. I have 26 years of experience. I'm also a certified fraud examiner. So nothing, even if something misses them, I will not miss it. So I do not have the power to take anybody to court. Let me clarify that. I do not have the power to punish anyone. What we do is to recommend that the matter be forwarded either to police, depending on what is found, or it could also be forwarded to the Public Service Commission for disciplinary action. But this is in the hands of the CEO who needs to take on the recommendations. But I do not have any power to go to court. We serve as witnesses, though. Because it was announced, we had to immediately begin the retrieval of records, fearing that when we do begin it, the records might not be there. So because it was announced, we had to immediately go in and retrieve records. It's part of the audit process. We meet with different persons, we meet with different stakeholders, key players in all this process. The list is getting big.
When the Auditor General completes her report on the Ministry of Defense audit, it will not go straight to the public. Maria Rodriguez says the document will first be submitted to the ministry's CEO, Francis Usher, and copied to the Financial Secretary and Accountant General. But while that process unfolds, some critics are already questioning whether the findings will have any teeth. Rodriguez is dismissing claims that the report will amount to less than nothing, saying her office's work is thorough, independent, and important.
Have you seen any of the reports that we have tabled?
I think I followed the last one you all did when JPAC and when you went before the JPAC committee. Yeah.
So that's just one example. All our reports create impact. We have not submitted a report that has not created impact. None of our reports. Go back. And I won't even ask you to go back before 2025. Go back from when I started. 2015, 2016 reports created impact. 15, 16, 17 created impact. And I hope, Mr. Lopez, that you get a chance to look at the 2017, 2018, which will also create impact. So when we do our audits, we audit to create impact. We do not audit to simply say you did not follow our regulation. And I know the expectations are high. I know that for sure. But I ask that trust the process, trust the work.
Will you all be asking questions of the Air representative for Belmopan, Oscar Mira?
As long as he's included in the paperwork documentation, and I think you know that he is, he will certainly have to be requested to come for an interview.
Will you all ask questions of former Minister Marin?
Definitely. As long as they're implicated, they will have to come and follow through the audit process.
Will you all be able to locate all of these businesses named in the controversy and ask questions of them?
That's part of the audit process. We need to follow the money.
By late September, the public may have a clearer picture of what auditors found inside the Ministry of Defense. Auditor General Maria Rodriguez says her office is preparing its first report based on its review of the ministry's financial records. Cabinet Minister Oscar Requena is weighing in on the ongoing audit at the Ministry of Defense and the controversy now surrounding some of his cabinet colleagues. We caught up with Requena today at an event in Belize City, where he described the situation as a challenge government must confront and address. But Requena also heads a ministry that regularly needs hardware supplies for its rural transformation projects. So we asked him directly, does his ministry also use the under $10,000 payment practice that is now under scrutiny? Here's what he had to say.
You're going to encounter challenges. And when we encounter these challenges, what we must do is we must ensure that we recognize that there are challenges. We look at what is causing the challenges, how do we address the challenges, and ensure that we put in place whatever structures and mechanisms that are important to address those challenges. To answer your question, I believe that our Prime Minister and our government has responded, and there is a process in place now that we are going through, and we must allow that process to go through. And at the end of the day, that process is going to inform, how we improve on whatever challenges that are encountered.
Do you see the highlighting of these under $10,000 payments as a circumvention of the procurement regulation?
Listen, again, every ministry, has its own unique system, and I must say that at the end of the day, whether they are 10,000 or whether they are 50,000, the important element here is that there must be proper accountability and transparency in how this is managed. I must say that government has clear regulations in place, financial regulations, and all of us who have a responsibility must ensure that we adhere to those regulations.
Your ministry deals a lot in supplies, pipes, etc. Do you all practice this under $10,000 payment?
I want to categorically say, no, we don't. And what I want to say is that we make sure that we follow the procedure.
Another question for Minister Oscar Requena today centered on his CEO and Belmopan area representative, Oscar Mira. In late June, at the start of the Ministry of Defense scandal, a video surfaced showing Shal exiting what appeared to be a government building with Mira. We asked Requena whether that relationship raises any concerns. He says it does not, adding that Mira needed someone to talk to and turn to a trusted friend and ally.
Listen, I sit down and speak with my CEO on a daily basis. And of course, there is always, room for discussions to ensure that whatever we do at the Ministry of Rural Transformation, Community Development and Local Government, that it is above board, that it is in line with the financial regulations, and at the end of the day, that we have accountability for the resources that we manage. It's a privilege to manage those resources, and we must ensure that we do that to the best of our ability.
He explained to you why they were meeting, I believe, at a government building some time back here, and Minister Mira at the height of this country.
Listen, let me clear that. CEO Shal, is a friend of Minister Mira, and I believe that, at the time, Minister Mira obviously was going through some challenges. My understanding is that, he came over to say hi to CEO and basically, to chit-chat with him. But it is not anything out of the way. Some people and even social media presented it in a way as if though they were planning or, hiding anything. Please, man, there's nothing like that took place.
We note that CEO Shal has worked closely with Mira in the past on his campaign strategy. There's more news after the break, so stay tuned.
Every business starts with a vision. And every day, Belizean entrepreneurs are turning that vision into reality.
Hi, I'm Rosalie, General Manager of Cards and Merchant Services at the Belize Bank. Today, I am proud to introduce our new solution designed specifically for Belize's small and medium-sized businesses.
Introducing the Belize Bank Advantage MasterCard SME Business Credit Card. Whether you're managing everyday expenses, purchasing inventory, or investing in growth, this card gives your business the flexibility to move forward with confidence. Applying is easy. Visit any Belize Bank branch and speak with one of our SME officers. We'll help you find a solution that best fits your business. Your business is building Belize's future. Let Belize Bank help power what's next.
When the power goes out, life is disrupted. Be prepared and keep your home powered up with a generator from Benquip. We carry brands such as Honda, Kohler, and JCB. Schedule your installation, maintenance, and assessment to keep your generator ready and waiting to protect your family and home the next time the power fails. Stay in control of your power with a generator from Benquip. Equipment, parts, service.
Running your business just got easier with Medisco. Our dedicated representatives bring a wide selection of products straight to you, right when you need them. Simply choose the items your business needs and place your order instantly, fast, easy, and hassle-free. We offer a wide range of wines, spirits, food, beverages, and hospitality products from trusted brands, delivering quality and excellence for every occasion. Once confirmed, your order is processed immediately and prepared with care for scheduled delivery. From our warehouse to your shelves. Reliable service you can count on every time. Ordering made easy. Convenient online payment. Efficient cashless delivery. Medisco, delivering products and payment convenience to power your business.
He skipped nights out. Said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle. All for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100 key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Nearly a decade after the CCJ's landmark ruling on Maya customary land rights, the fight over implementation is still not over. Today, Maya leaders return to the region's highest court seeking more clarity on the 2015 consent order. But the court dismissed the application, saying the process it ordered is already underway and that the parties must continue working through the commissioned review panel. That panel is expected to help resolve several outstanding issues, including the identification of customary lands. Following today's hearing, we asked Senior Counsel Andrew Marshallek what the decision means going forward. First, here is Justice Winston Anderson with the CCJ's ruling.
We think that that process is now underway and that it should be given every allowance to complete its journey. We therefore do not think that we ought to intervene at this point in the way asked for by the appellants, applicants, and instead would encourage the parties to continue the process towards the culmination of the product that we have all looked for so very long.
Where we are is that we've produced a working draft of a document, and there's a review panel constituted, 2 members appointed by the government, 2 members from the appellant side, Maya leaders side, and now government has decided to add a representative from the third-party landowners. That panel is supposed to review the draft, make recommendations on how to make it better, and hopefully get the draft to a point where then it can be circulated to the wider public for consultation and input, and then eventually taken to the National Assembly. So we're at an early stage in the process where the comments on the draft are only taken directly from stakeholders involved, but the process also contemplates that after that it goes to everybody, so everybody can say what they think about it. I doubt that there'll ever be a situation where everybody is 100% in agreement with it, given the nature of what is being dealt with. There will always be some unhappiness about it. There's not complete happiness. You won't reach that ideal, but it's about reaching something that works for everybody.
The Maya Leaders Alliance did not get the ruling it asked for today, but spokesperson Christina Cox says the hearing still moved their cause forward. Cox says Maya communities have spent the last 11 years pressing for the CCJ's consent order to be fully implemented, and she believes the court-appointed review process has stalled. But according to Cox, today's proceedings reinforced one key point. Government cannot define Maya customary land rights on its own. She says it must first investigate and recognize the customs and practices that Maya communities have established over generations before drafting laws to protect those rights. Here's more from Christina Cox.
I don't think it was a setback. We don't see it as a setback at all. I do think that what we've gained from today's hearing is that the government is now more firmly on notice that it needs to adhere to the relevant standards and not just exercise its imaginations. And I think that the justices, particularly Justice Jamadar, made it clear to them that this is not just about you imagining what Maya customary land tenure is. It exists. There's a system there. Who best to know that system than the people who practice it themselves? And it's a fact. It's a historical discovery that it exists, right? So when you come and you then begin to say, well, I think we only need 5 acres. That enough for me to live pan. They're not that your job, your job that for go see what we done to do, how we use the land, how we live on the land, and then for recognize that and identify where it is we do those practices. So I'm happy with today. I think that they are on notice. They know that they can't just, imagine for us what they think is best for us. I repeat my call to the ministers of government who are responsible for legislative drafting. You need to take an active role. We want to talk to you on how it is that you are going to receive an alternative to your proposal. Your proposal is 5 acres per person. We reject that proposal outright. That is not our custom. That is not how we use land. What we propose to you is we have now completed a majority of our boundaries. We've harmonized our boundaries among each other. Are you prepared to come and validate that and see the evidence of our use and our land use patterns?
The review panel remains deeply divided over what Maya customary land rights should mean. And the recent addition of a third-party representative has only widened the gap in a decades-long fight. A challenge to 6 names on Punta Gorda's provisional voters list has now opened a bigger fight over transparency in Belize's voter registration process. The objections filed by Justice of the Peace and former mayoral aspirant Leroy Sapal claim that the 6 individuals, including former PUP Senator Bevington Cowell, do not live in Punta Gorda town. But when the matter went before the Punta Gorda Magistrates Court today, the focus quickly shifted. Elections and Boundaries refused to disclose the inspection report used to verify the registrations. Attorney Orson Elrington says the court must now decide whether that report should be released before the objections can proceed.
My client, along with other independent sources, have verified in fact that these persons do not reside in Punta Gorda, and therefore he took up the challenge of challenging the matter before the revision court. We made an application for disclosure of the inspection report. This is where obviously where the investigating officer should have gone out into the field and verified in fact that these persons do reside in the location that they claim they do reside. So we would have asked for that to be disclosed. Quite surprisingly, the officer who was representing the Election and Boundaries Department, I believe her name is Miss Cheyenne Murillo, informed us that in fact she would not be disclosing, she would deny or demand for that document to be disclosed and claims that it is privileged information and therefore that she would not be providing that to us.
These people here does not live in Punta Gorda town. They are trying to get registered in Punta Gorda town, but they do not live in Punta Gorda town. There's a process that you go through whenever you're doing a transfer. You need to live in the area 2 months before, and these people have not been seen. I went and looked for the neighbors that live beside that resident and asked if these people are seen for the last 2 months when they're supposed to live in the area before registration, and they were not seen.
We know that the people of Punta Gorda want a fair, and they want to put in who they want to in terms of for it to be fair. What happens now is that we take away their voice by padding the list. We take away their vote. We take away their freedom by putting names that doesn't belong there. I must add to it quickly, Shane, that PG is small. Everybody know everybody. So there is no doubt about it. We know who live here. We know who comes here. We know who come to visit. If you come to PG right now, we know you're not from here. It's too small. We know.
The Punta Gorda Magistrates Court will hear oral arguments on the voter objections on Monday, August 3rd. The case carries political weight. In 2024, Frank Polonio lost the PG Town Council race by just 25 votes after a recount. Belize has agreed to partially lift diplomatic immunity in connection with an alleged domestic dispute involving Kennedy Carrillo, now under investigation by Canadian authorities. In a release issued today, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says it first received a report on Wednesday from Belize's state representative to the International Civil Aviation Organization. Shortly after, the Embassy of Canada in Guatemala sent a diplomatic request asking Belize to approve a limited waiver of immunity so Canadian authorities could investigate the matter. After reviewing the request and the information provided, the Foreign Ministry approved the limited waiver and formally notified the Canadian Embassy by diplomatic note. Government says it has also carried out the necessary checks to ensure the safety and security of everyone involved. Belize says it will continue cooperating fully with Canadian authorities and is reaffirming its zero-tolerance policy toward all forms of gender-based violence. After the break, auditors widen their focus. A new investigation is now underway inside Immigration's Belize City office. What's behind the review and what could it uncover? Stay with us.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. Digi Wallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Are you enjoying the incredible voices of KTV The Remix Season 8? Well, don't forget, the power is in your hands. This week, each remaining contestant has been assigned a new voting number. To vote for your favorite KTV contestant, simply text the number of votes, followed by a space, then your contestant's assigned voting number, and send it to 585. And remember, you can also send credit directly to your favorite contestant's assigned smartphone number. Here are this week's remaining contestants and their new voting numbers.
I know how to leave the young thing alone, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Turn me down, oh, but tell me who's getting all of my, I want one moment in time. When the more than people want diamond rings, and some just want everything, but everything means nothing.
Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can see your halo. I'd risk my life to feel your body next to mine, 'cause I can't.
Who will make it through to next week? Your vote can keep your KTV star on the stage. Vote before Sunday at midnight. Join us at The Bliss every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for KTV The Remix Season 8.
The
next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world, Mexican Caribbean. Do you know why we are the capital of vacations? Because no other place on earth brings together so many ways to vacation in one single destination. Every vacation imaginable. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
The National Celebrations Commission, in collaboration with the Belize City Council and the National Institute of Culture and History, proudly invites you to celebrate Emancipation Day at the annual Ibo Town Festival on Saturday, August 1st, 2026. Following the official Emancipation Day ceremony, join us at the Isaiah Mortar Square on Albert Street West from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. for a full day of culture, entertainment, and family fun. Experience an exciting lineup of live performances, cultural displays, local handicrafts, an educational emancipation tour, delicious food and drinks, and a free kids zone featuring face painting, cotton candy, snow cones, a bouncy house, and a trampoline. Think you've got the best powder bun or rice and beans? Enter our powder bun and rice and beans competition for a chance to win amazing cash prizes. Mark your calendars and bring the entire family to the Isaiah Mortar Square on Saturday, August 1st from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come celebrate our history, our freedom, our culture, and our community at the Ibo Town Festival. See you there.
Rev up your engines at Puma Energy and get ready for an exciting chance to fuel, fill, and win. For every $30 purchase on fuel, a liter of lubricant, or $10 at Super 7, get a ticket to win one of 20 fuel prizes of $1,000. And here's the thrill. Fill up with premium Clean Tech Pro and double your chances of winning. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Head to Puma Energy and Super 7 today for your chance to fuel, fill, and win.
The investigation into the tragic sinking of the MV Barima has officially begun. This morning, the government of Guyana swore in the members of a commission of inquiry tasked with uncovering what led to the maritime disaster. Leading that investigation is Belizean Senior Counsel Godfrey Smith, who was formally appointed chairman during today's ceremony. Here's more from the swearing-in.
I, Godfrey Philip Smith,
do hereby solemnly declare that I will faithfully, fully, impartially, and to the best of my ability, discharge the trust, and perform the duties devolving upon me, as chairman by virtue of the commission, issued by His Excellency President Mohammed Irfan Ali,
issued by President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali,
on the 30th day of July 2026.
On the 30th day of July 2026.
And I do so affirm. Thank you, sir. I already have your signature. Congratulations, Justice Godfrey Philip Smith. You've now been appointed chairman of the Commission of Inquiry.
The other 4 commissioners are from Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Poland. They are all maritime experts. A third group of deported Caribbean and Central American nationals arrived in Belize this morning under the Safe Third Country Agreement with the United States. 8 of them, most from Haiti, will now be allowed to remain in Belize. The government of Belize says each transfer is reviewed individually and that it can reject any request. But public concern has been fueled by reports suggesting these arrivals include serious criminals deported from the U.S. Today we spoke with Luke Martin, Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Belmopan, who pushed back against that claim.
This is, I guess, the third of the flights. One did arrive this morning, and we know that it was all regional people, and they all requested to come to Belize. Belize government reviewed it, everybody's cases, and in these ones here, they passed the security background clearance, and they felt it would be a good fit for them and for Belize. We're not exactly sure of the final number that arrived. It was looking at about 7. The majority of them were from Haiti, but there were Central Americans as well. Belize is a great destination for both Central America and the Caribbean asylees because, I mean, you've got cultural connections both directions. You've got the language opportunities here for those that are coming from the Central American countries if they're not speaking English. So that's kind of what's worked out here so far. I know there was a lot of misinformation in the beginning of what kind of people would these be? Are they all coming straight out of the prisons? And what, but that's not the situation. I mean, these are people looking for homes, and they chose Belize as a place to have this, to go through this asylum process to figure out, is this the place for them?
Government says this is the first group transferred under the agreement after all required reviews and clearances were completed. The Auditor General's office has now turned its attention to the Immigration Department in Belize City, where more than $150,000 reportedly went missing. A team has been deployed to audit the department's finances and determine how the funds disappeared. As we have reported, former employee Jason Flowers is wanted in connection with the missing money. But auditors are now looking beyond one person to find out whether anyone else may have played a role.
We selected a team to go in, and I'm wondering how they're not questioning that team. But a team is already there. They are focusing on the findings. There was an internal investigation, and so we're using the internal investigation to move forward. And we have created our own scope, and I believe it's going good. They're presently waiting for records. Like I said, everything starts with the records.
Is there a timeline for that one?
All our investigations, even when we say, 2 months, 3 months, it's really highly dependent on whether the records are quickly available.
Flowers remains on the run. Local authorities believe he fled to the U.S. With her election victory in 2024, Claudia Sheinbaum became Mexico's first female president. Now, Mexico's approach to diplomacy is putting gender equality at the center of its foreign policy. Special Envoy Rosana Briceño and the National Women's Commission held a meeting with the Embassy of Mexico in Belize today at the Lang Building in Belize City, where Ambassador Luisa Vallejo Barba made a special presentation exploring Mexico's feminist foreign policy. The discussion examined how the policy promotes women's empowerment, gender parity in Parliament, and an end to discrimination. News 5 was there and asked how this approach is shaping Mexico's engagement with countries like Belize. Here's what we learned.
Secretary, ministry, or institution has to talk about gender in a transactional way. And maybe we don't have a specific budget to get new women participate, but the people that already were participating, they have had new opportunities to get more balance. And I think that this is very important because they are given opportunity for new visions. And as I said, most of the laws and advances we have been coming for years and years. But right now we have had a real change with quota. It's not the most fantastic way because even in my case, I wasn't I'm very proud that I arrived because of quota. I was working very hard. I have more than 30 years working in the ministry, and just right now I had the opportunity. But I have to be thankful that because finally I had this opportunity. And now I have to prove myself. It's not because I had the opportunity I'm going to relax. The quota has to be proven, validated, exactly.
And I know that our ladies here have learned a lot. And I can see Miss Eleanor and the women here processing this. Because I think it's so important, because we understand what you're saying. It's happening globally. We live it every day. I can relate to everything that you shared and more. But I always, when we hear the word feminism, we always think of some crazy woman out there screaming and making noise. But it's not so. Our use of the word feminism is that we just want people to know that we are women and we are strong and we can do what you can do. Like you said, the equality and more, because we cook and you eat.
Mexico has achieved near equal gender parity in its parliament through mandatory constitutional reforms, reaching roughly 50% representation of women in both the Chamber of Deputies and the Senate. Only 8 of Belize's 44 parliamentarians are women. Still ahead, are you planning for retirement or leaving it to chance? Public officers are being urged to get their paperwork in order now because missing documents later could delay the pension benefits they've earned.
Connected in the USA. Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Electronic invoicing, e-invoicing, is bringing a secure digital upgrade to GST-registered businesses in Belize. Here is how the process works. Your business generates an electronic tax document, ETD, like your everyday invoice or receipt electronically. The ETD is securely transmitted to the Belize Tax Service through Vertex Belize, the national digital platform for e-invoicing. The Belize Tax Service validates it instantly and returns the verified ETD to your business, ready to share with your customer, all in seconds. There are 3 ways to get started. Connect your existing accounting software to Vertex Belize, work with a local or international solution provider, or access the free web-based tool to be provided by the Belize Tax Service. Getting started is flexible. For more information, contact the Belize Tax Service at 613-2508 or email etdinfo@bts.gov.bz. Electronic invoicing, simplifying tax compliance through digital innovation.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
Before our grid reached across Belize, it was built by generations of Belizeans committed to connecting communities and powering progress. Through the hands, the dedication, and the vision of our people, the grid grew with Belize. A nation built through strength and resilience, and a network built pole by pole. Today, that responsibility continues, strengthened by every hand that follows. Each generation building on the last and carrying forward a shared responsibility, serving communities, powering schools, hospitals, businesses, and homes, supporting a nation that continues to grow. Belize Electricity Limited, built to serve, serving Belize.
Every dollar you save today is a seed for tomorrow. Let your dreams take root and grow. Belize Bank, your future, our commitment.
He skipped nights out, said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle, all for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
For many public officers, receiving pension benefits is a process that begins long before retirement. Ensuring the right documents are on file and addressing any missing records early can play a major role in how smoothly benefits are processed once an employee leaves the public service. With ongoing concerns about pension delays, attention is now turning to the proactive steps employees and administrators can take well ahead of retirement to prevent complications. Today's News 5's Brittany Gordon breaks down what Belizeans can do to ensure they receive their pension benefits following their retirement.
Retirement is a milestone many public officers spend their careers working toward, with pension benefits expected to provide financial stability in their post-service years. But for many, the process has become chaotic and tiresome. Attorney Richard Dickey Bradley raised concerns over the efficiency of the process.
People die and no sitting pension. What kind of country we run?
While many report that the process has not been easy, experts say that receiving those benefits smoothly depend on careful planning and record keeping long before retirement arrives. According to Carol Gentle, a retired administrative officer who worked in public service for nearly 4 decades, preparing for retirement is a shared responsibility between the employee and the administrative officer.
The employee have a right to ask to see his or her file whenever they choose. I, as the administrative officer, I recommend to public officers, when you reach the age of, say, between 50 to 53, you try and find your administrative officer and ask them to set a date for you to go through your file, because you have that right to see your file. You peruse your file, check to see what's on your file, and ask questions.
Gentle explained that public offices must ensure their pension files are complete before retirement, including documents such as approved leave records, updated birth and marital status certificates, and all required performance appraisals.
You have to ensure that all your performance appraisal, both mid-year and end of year, is on your file. If it is not, it is you, the officer's responsibility to ensure that your supervisor do your appraisal and have it affixed to your file. Even if you're at the end of your pay scale, it's your obligation to get it done, or else your file will not be processed when you are not 55, when you are 54, your files start to process 1 year before.
Among the most common challenges are missing employment records, incomplete performance appraisals, and discrepancies in personal documents, all of which can slow the computation of pension and gratuity benefits.
I found in my experience, a lot of people are in the public service with one name. And for some reason, when they go to the vital statistics for their birth paper, they are registered in a different name. They have to go through the process, and that's why I advise them that they get their birth paper way in advance, years in advance.
Gentle says employees should not wait until retirement to check their files. Annual audits help confirm that all required documents are in place, and if anything is missing, officers have time to fix it before their retirement package is submitted. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The call for justice in San Pedro is growing louder following the murders of businessman David Harmouche and security guard Daniel Jones. Members of the island's Lebanese community took their concerns directly to the San Pedro police station, where they protested and demanded answers. In the wake of that demonstration, Mayor Wally Nunez says local authorities remain in close contact with the grieving families and will continue providing updates as the police investigation moves forward. Nunez is also assuring residents that officials are working to find the killer and bring that person to justice.
Yes, definitely. I have been in contact with them. This is a very tragic situation that happened on the island. There is currently an investigation, and we're waiting on information on that.
What were you able to do, you and the minister, to quell the protests that they launched as a result?
Well, we talked to them. We told them and committed to them that the investigation will go on, and we're going to be informing them as to how it progresses. It is something that, well, you don't hear much of crimes and stuff in San Pedro. This might be an isolated case, and, well, it is very unfortunate. It does affect our island. It affects the sentiments of the people when it comes to safety. But I do believe that it is something that needs to be investigated, and we're committed to them.
As of now, police have made no arrests in relation to these murders. Keeping San Pedro's beaches clean is costing millions. Mayor Wally Nunez says the ongoing sargassum crisis remains a major burden for the island, both environmentally and financially. The town council spent more than $2 million last year clearing seaweed from the shoreline, money that had to be pulled from other parts of the municipal budget. And with the influx showing no signs of slowing down, Nunez says the council is now exploring better equipment and quicker removal methods.
That has been one of our major challenges, and we know that it is not only in San Pedro, I mean, not only in Belize. This is a regional issue affecting many countries in the Caribbean, even in the U.S. But it is something that we are definitely looking at. We are looking at obtaining more equipment to be able to take it out of the water. There is a lot of different business plans that people come up with. You probably are aware of the sarga blocks and all these different things that you can do with the sargassum afterwards. However, the main point for us is to take it out as soon as possible. It has been quite overwhelming, and it has cost a lot of money to the council, especially last year. That was one of our worst years. The council itself spent a lot of money in just beach cleanup, and that's because we have been focusing mainly in the town core, which is roughly around a mile, and you know, San Pedro is much more than a mile long of beach, and all these resorts have been tackling this issue, but there's different approaches to it, and I know that the general public has been assisting. We have different resorts coming up with different methods of being able to take out the sargassum. And the main thing is try to take it out as soon as possible so it doesn't rot on the water.
What would you say is the estimated annual expense on tackling sargassum for the council?
Just for the council last year, it was roughly over $2 million. And that's not because we have that money to be able to spend. That's because we had to relocate our resources from other sections or other parts of our budget to be able to tackle the sargassum.
Mayor Nunez says several agencies and stakeholders, including the Belize Tourism Board, are providing equipment and support to help San Pedro address the difficult and ongoing sargassum problem. A viral encounter with a jaguar cub has landed one of the men involved in legal trouble. Ruben Stoll has returned to Belize, surrendered to the Forest Department, and paid a $1,000 fine for handling the protected animal. Forest Officer Victoria Chi says Stoll apologized and acknowledged the risks of interfering with wildlife. But authorities say his brother, Victor Stoll, has not turned himself in and continues to deny any wrongdoing. Officials hope the case sends a clear message: admire wildlife from a distance and leave it undisturbed.
I think he landed in Belize around 1:30. By 2:30, he was already at the Belmopan office, willing to take his charge. I explained to him. I read to him what was the charge, if he was agreeing to it. He agreed to it, and so we then proceeded to charge him. He was charged $1,000. I know a lot of persons are saying 1,000 is nothing, but that's all we could fine him with the current legislation. We can't charge him. I can't say, well, I was charged him $10,000. I wish I could have, but we could not. But we must bear in mind that these animals are wild animals. These animals also do carry a lot of diseases. It's not just picking them up just like that and feeling you can kiss them and you can do anything with them or touch them, and then you touch your face and then you start to do. They come with a lot of diseases, and if you get a scratch and you get infected, you will come with a lot of diseases as well, and then you put more people at risk when it comes to that. So the take-home message is leave the wildlife where they are. You can see them, you can observe them from afar, take pictures if you want, but don't come into their surroundings and come in close contact with them. Mr. Ruben is the one that actually pet the jaguar, the cub. So he's the one that was fined. We're not saying we're not charging Mr. Victor, but Mr. Victor, he does not see, or he has not he still is of the belief that what he did was not wrong. And he feels that what his brother did was not wrong. So there's the difference between two brothers. The other one says Mr. Ruben is saying he will try to convince his brother.
Forest Department officials say they have issued a warning to the Immigration Department to be on the lookout for Victor Stoll so that he can be fined if he returns to Belize. Up next, Team Belize isn't backing down. After a tough loss, the national men's basketball team bounced back in a big way, crushing Guatemala by 30 points and keeping its medal dream alive.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100# key. No stress, no waiting, just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower Belize.
My name is Iseni Verde. I am 33 years old and I am a housewife in the beautiful village of Sartaneja. My day starts early, preparing breakfast, sending my kids to school, and taking care of my home. But before, something as simple as water made every day harder. I had to wake up and go fetch my water just to bathe, wash dishes, and clean. Tap water was too salty. It would burn my children's eyes, leave their hair stiff. Even our spoons and pots would rust. Many times, I had to use my extra money to buy purified water for drinking and cooking. When I heard about the new water system, I felt hope, but also doubt, because we had had promises before. Still, I want to believe this could be a new beginning. Now, water is right there at my fingertips. I just need to open the faucet and I can enjoy a clean glass of water to quench my thirst. My children can bathe comfortably. We can cook, clean, live without worrying. I have more time now. Time I used to spend fetching water, now I spend it with my kids. This change has positively affected my life and the lives of my community. Having reliable water means healthier lives for everyone. It's not only a new water system, but hope and confidence that things can change for good.
The Ministry of Rural Transformation continues to work with communities like Sartaneja, transforming lives and strengthening communities across Belize.
Police show there would be no hangover from Tuesday night's heartbreaking 3-point loss to host nation Dominican Republic. Instead, the national men's basketball team responded in emphatic fashion today, crushing regional rival Guatemala by 30 points to keep its medal hopes alive at the Central American and Caribbean Games in Santo Domingo. Belize came out firing from the opening tip, racing to a 57-28 lead at halftime. There was no let-up after the break as Team Belize continued to dominate both ends of the floor, eventually cruising to a convincing 94-64 victory. The Belizean offense was led by Josiah Mosley, who delivered a game-high 22 points on an outstanding 9 for 10 shooting performance. Elijah Favela added 17 points and Michael Caceres chipped in 14. Belize now enters the medal round and is likely to face Puerto Rico in its semifinal matchup. A power struggle is unfolding inside World Cup world football, that is, and CONCACAF is drawing a hard line. The Confederation and its 41 member associations have rejected a proposal backed by FIFA President Gianni Infantino that would allow private investors to buy into the FIFA World Cup. CONCACAF says the idea raised serious concerns about transparency, governance, and who should control the future of the sport's biggest tournament. Member nations met today and made their position official in a press release. News 5 spoke with Football Federation of Belize President Sergio Chuk about what this means for Belize and the wider football region.
The organization is strong enough. There are enough reserves to put the same offer to all members without having to raise funds from any equity funds out there or mutual funds. I know that we'll keep a close relation with our CONCACAF Council, and I could safely say here that the CONCACAF Council members who sit on the FIFA board did not know of this new development either. For us, we were quite surprised, and that's not the channel that CONCACAF would follow. Over the last decade, we've worked tirelessly to change the CONCACAF image and don't go back to dark days. And we've set certain standards and certain values that our members follow, that our council follow, and we at CONCACAF would not operate that way.
On the other hand, the EUFA has threatened to boycott the next World Cup if FIFA moves ahead with the proposed plan. The family of Milagro Garel, the World Pediatrics Country Director in Belize, is seeking the public support for financial assistance to aid in a medical emergency. Garel suffered a massive brain aneurysm on Tuesday night while at home. Garel is currently in an induced coma. She will be transported by plane tonight to a medical facility in Guatemala, where she will undergo intensive care for at least 2 weeks. Garel has worked with the World Pediatric Project for the past 2 decades. Her service has impacted the lives of countless children across Belize. Any financial assistance can be deposited in Joseph Garel's Atlantic Bank account. The account number is 100104496. Belizeans are being invited to hop on their bikes this Saturday and ride in memory of 15-year-old cyclist Tayon Villanueva, whose promising life was cut short late last year. The memorial ride, being held on what would have been his birthday, will celebrate his passion for cycling while raising funds to assist another child battling cancer. Family members say the event is opportunity for the cycling community and the wider public to honor a young athlete whose dedication and talent left a lasting impression on those who knew him.
At the time of his passing, he was 15. We found out after his passing that he died from lymphedema. However, the symptoms didn't show up until maybe about a month and a half before. So he got sick mid-November. We started to see symptoms. We thought it was just a throat infection or something. He started to have swelling. And we tried to schedule different tests for him, but unfortunately we didn't get a chance to do all of that. And so on Boxing Day, we got that call. And so Saturday is his birthday, and we thought that it would be fitting to honor his legacy with a ride. And so we're inviting people to come out. It's not a race, it's just for us to come and ride together in his honor. Registration is $15, and proceeds from that will go towards helping another child who is also battling cancer. We've been fortunate to have major support from the Belize Cycling Federation, Belize City Council, Ordones Bike Shop, family and friends from the US, and also locally. Our family came together and decided this is what we wanted to do.
The memorial ride begins at 6 a.m. at the Lord Ridge Cemetery and concludes on Poinsettia Street in the Lake Independence area, where participants will be treated to light refreshments. Before we leave you, here's tonight's viewer's voice. On our first story, Belize imports jump 21.3% in June, exports decline. Black Bear Gasty commented, and that's why they tax up everything instead of finding ways to bring in income and being self-sufficient. A lot of stuff we import can be made or grown here with the right investment. Turning to how public officers can protect their pension benefits, Fidel Castanedes shared, "It is the responsibility of each public officer to save all letters related to their employment. Doing so will definitely her upon retirement, especially if your debt ministry department or ministry cannot find it in your file. So please, public officers, save all your employment documents. It will ease you the stress. And finally, on could fish skin become Belize's next big business? Marcia Rodriguez shared, fish skins are used in different countries to heal burn wounds and wounds from accidents, mainly tilapia and cod. So there is potential here. Once it's marketed right and sterilized properly, good luck to those willing to try something outside the box. Thank you for engaging with us online. Your voices shape the national conversation. Keep those comments coming and we'll continue to feature them right here. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.